Okay, I'm working on this monitor here for my grandma. This one was given to me. It was in an e-waste pile at an e-commerce company. And it is a Dell. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. It's over here somewhere. It's one of those. Whatever model that is. It's one of those. It's made in October 2007. It's absolutely old. It's a 1708 FPI. Whatever that is. So, in case it doesn't work. And my guess is the power supply board is probably toast. So I'm going to take it apart and see if I can fix it. So to disassemble this is very similar to any other monitor. You just first get the... this has never been done before. Tear the tape. And the tactic we all use. Oh, it's an FPF. So what we're going to do here is take, if you see a screw, you want to remove it. And then we're going to flip it over and then peel the bezel off. And that's a very easy thing to do. Okay, so I just removed the screws. They're right here. Here's the 4 screws. So remember, if you see a screw, remove a screw. Now those little 6-sided screws, we're probably going to have to get those things out later. But we might be able to get to the bad capacitors on this without doing that. So what you want to do with this is you grab the bezel from the inside and you lift up and it should pop out. Sometimes you gotta, without using a grenade to get it off, you gotta do it without breaking the panel. So let me set this down and I'll do it a less wrong way. So okay, so what I've been doing here is just grabbing the edge and lifting up. And if this thing here will focus, it'll make it less hard to see here. Come on, you. I might post a picture of what the lens looks like. It's completely shattered on this thing, so we're doing the best we can here, and this should pop right off. And then this is a, wow, there's no ribbon cable on that. Cool, so it's just like these buttons don't have a ribbon cable, they just touch on that little panel thingy there. So, and let me see if I can get the focus here. No, I can't. Let me try this again here. Well, it's probably not going to focus. What we do now, since the bezel is off, sometimes they have like little clips that hold the actual panel onto the thing here. What we do is just flip it over and just drop it, and then the whole panel should just fall right out, like that. Now we have to be really careful that we don't break these ribbon cables right here. We just wiggle that guy off, and that goes to the buttons right here. And see if I can get this in here to focus again. I have a completely shattered lens on this thing. So, oh, that one's actually not connected. Whoa, I lied. Okay, cool. Makes it easier. So then the same tactic, you see a screw, remove a screw. And try not to mix up your screws, because that'll really screw you up. So, let me remove all the screws and then I'll continue. Okay, with the 4 screws off here, the back should come off. I remove that little wire there. So, gotta look for ribbon cables, make sure we don't pull on anything important. We shouldn't pull on anything. I should be doing this on my desk, but should and doing it are 2 different things, so. Oh, gotta get these guys off. These are little covers. These are for the fluorescent lighting. These things are pretty sharp. Get them off the right way here. So on these ones here, you just lift up, and it slides right off. And then these are the high voltage lines, and they're for the fluorescent lights. This one actually has 4 tubes in it. Huh. Usually the high-end monitors have those. I think my Acer has 1 tube in it. But yeah, these ones here you can actually convert to LED. They have a kit for these on eBay. It's like $4, and you completely disassemble the panel. You take the fluorescent tubes out, and they give you these rows of LEDs, and then you just stick them in there, and then you put the controller cable in here, and then so the controller, so your buttons still control the backlighting. Sometimes these can be a pain to get off. So on these ones, the pink ones were in the center. So on this one, the pink one's in the center. So I just put them back in the same way I took them out. They can be a bit of a pain to get out. You just grab the connector and wiggle them out. So that's that. And then there should be a signal cable too, a ribbon. There it is. The ribbon cable's way down there. This one looks like a floppy drive. Ribbon has a little pressure-y connector thingy. I don't know if I can get that out way down there. So maybe we have to get it out a different way. There it is. Let's see if I can do this without cutting myself. Let me use 2 hands. I'll put this down. There we go. What I did was I broke, there's this little mount here, I broke that off with my pocket knife, and I was able to cleanly or properly disconnect this cable here from the PCB over there. So, one right here. So now we gotta get this out. This is the power board that's probably bad. We just look for something that releases smoke or a bulging capacitor. Well, usually on these it's a capacitor. So it's not too bad. So I think it's just these 2 screws right here holding that in, and then the few screws on this. Let me get those out and then I'll show you. Okay, if she'll focus, I can show you. That capacitor is bulging and leaking in the middle. That one's fine. So this one we got to change. The rest of these are flat on top. And then the only one that's the other got to change are these 2. So that looks like what the problem is with this one. Everything. So that looks good. So let me go change this one. Oh no, this one right here and those 2. Let me see if I even have those. Those say 16 volt, 470 microfarad, and then this one right here is covered up, 35 volt. I don't know if I have a 35 volt. I might have a 50 volt. 470 microfarad. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's 35 volt, 470 microfarad. So I'll go rip these out and change them. I may change this one here just for good measure. But everything else looks okay. All the ICs here, or MOSFETs, or regulators, whatever those things are, they all look good. So yeah, not bad. So, yeah, I'll change them and then I'll continue. Okay, so I changed out the caps, but I had to do something special because this one here is a, no, this thing won't focus anymore. It says it's a 470 microfarad 35 volt. I don't have any 35 volt. I only have 25 volt. So what I did is that those ones were supposed to be a 16 volt. You can go higher voltage, so I went with a 25 volt on there. And then since I did not have a 35 volt, I put 2 of the 25 volts in series. It'll still be 460 microfarad, but it will be it'll be able to handle up to 50 volts. And since it only needs to be 35, it'll be fine. So I just twisted the positive and negative lead together, soldered in place with the proper orientation, and then same thing here. I just got to trim the leads because the leads are super long, and then it should be good to go. Now I'll just reassemble this and it should turn right on. So to get to this point, you're just gonna have to play my tape in reverse. I guess that was popular in the 70s, playing everything in reverse. Well, this is no exception. They're just very simple to assemble, very simple to disassemble, and then put it back in the bezel. Looks like you just put this over, something like that, then flip it over, and then this is where the buttons go, the little board, so you just line it up with that, and then get a big heavy metal mallet. Oh, don't do that, just be gentle with it. And then now you put the 4 screws back on there, put it back on the stand, plug it in, see if it works. And then the monitor right here is working. So I just plugged it in and she's up and working. Pretty cool. This one's going to Grandma.